Is music from video games good because it's technically great music, or is it acclaimed and loved simply because of the hype in that game? In this case, is Megalovania really good, or is it popular only because it's in Undertale? I want to reply that by analyzing this track today based on the 5th anniversary concert I did yesterday, this one. So this is the infamous melody that everyone knows. This melody is the first phrase of the song, and by itself it already makes the potential and style of Toby Fox as a composer quite clear. He's a melodic type of composer who often starts songs with melodic hooks instead of the chord progressions. What I love about Megalovania's melody is how it manages to be very simple despite also hiding a degree of complexity. Basically, the song starts by repeating this melody 4 times. Essentially, this melody is gonna repeat throughout the whole song, kind of like in Hans Zimmer, Time. This happens a lot in Undertale. The first notes of every repetition of this melody, the one I marked in pink, notice what they do. They're actually implying a harmony here. So other than being simple, this melody kind of makes you understand already what kind of chords you're gonna have underneath that, which are these. It doesn't sound foreign, it sounds like it belongs to what you were expecting because the song already itself in the main melody told you this is the harmony and also this is the melody. The second layer of complexity or implication in the melody is the rhythm. What the melody is playing is called syncopated rhythms. Syncopation is when you write something that follows not the strong parts of the rhythm but the weaker offbeat parts of the rhythm. So to explain your syncopation, imagine this is our rhythm. 2, 3, 4. This is a melody that follows the rhythm perfectly on the strong beats. If we were to add syncopated notes, it will become more rhythmic. This, for example. These notes here, they were syncopated. See, like that adds a bit of groove. And Megalovania has a lot of notes like this in the main melody. Like, the melody is playing in the offbeats of the rhythm quite a lot of times, and that makes it even more groovy and more rhythmic and gets you kind of dancing. That's how dance music is done, by the way. So, in 5 seconds, Toby Fox did what? He made you memorize the main pattern of the song and made you familiar with the rest of the song. That's what he does. He creates, like, loads of understanding for the music in the first seconds, and then the song goes, he gave you the dictionary on how to navigate this thing, and now the string, that's another example of syncopation, and in the original it's a synthesizer. Here it's just, strings playing those rhythms, and it just creates even more and more groove. And, okay. So essentially here what's happening is that everything that happened before is now happening at a much more intense level. So for the untrained here, what you hear is like just epicness. To me, I've been composing orchestral music for years. What I hear is that there's some drum kit, like I also hear some timpani, something like that. I also hear the main melody is now playing on different octaves and it's harmonizing. We have this melody here playing underneath that, which is an harmonization of the main melody. It's same shape, same rhythm, but different notes. And when you play them together, again, this is the same idea, same chord progression, same melody, same rhythm and stuff, but harmonized, it sounds thicker. It sounds like Charmander just evolved to Charmeleon or something. It goes to Charizard when you take this and you bring it to the orchestra. We have the violins playing the main melody. Also, you may notice in the orchestration here that some notes are longer, some are shorter, like that long note is marcato, and the short those are staccatos. Alternating between marcato and staccato like that is what gives a lot of sense of rhythm to a string section, so that's good. Also, you have some strings doing the chord progression part, and surely there must be some brass like this. Put everything together. This is just what we heard in the intro of the song, just brought at bigger levels. But that is why it sounds epic, it sounds interesting, because you know exactly what's going on subconsciously. It's not confusing you. The only thing that your brain is noticing is like, oh my god, it sounds so much better, I don't know why. Well, the reason is orchestration and, harmonization and all those things. As a listener, though, this sounds like a pop song, like something that is made in a way that is easy for you to understand but still blows you away because of the production value and the instrumentation and the arrangement and stuff like that. Things that normal listeners are not supposed to know, but that your brain understands subconsciously. That's so cool. This guy playing Iwi, he's playing the actual synth solo of the song. What a solo does is it takes the listener to another place through a very beautiful performance that demonstrates skill, taste, style, and awesomeness. Now, usually solos are played on top of, I don't know, maybe some backing instruments that are not doing anything too interesting. In this case, the orchestra is doing whatever it has been doing this far. So it's in a sense, the whole track has kind of led up to this solo. Like the rest of the orchestra is still doing ta 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 ta. In your mind, you already have an idea of what the harmony is going to be, so it's easy for you to follow. But now, your attention goes to this solo. That's how our brain works on music. We, as listeners, pay attention to the new elements that get introduced. If we hear something being repeated too long, we internalize it. It becomes uninteresting. It becomes something we understand. And now the composer can build on that, can be like, okay, I made them understand this idea. I made them understand the chord progression. Now I can use this chord progression as a foundation for a solo that is gonna blow them away. And this is what happens. Toby Fox freaking knows. Oh, that's cool what they did here. I love this. Oh my god, this is so good. Holy shit, bro. So when you listen to this is where you notice, holy shit, Toby Fox is a fucking great composer. The first thing I love about this passage, which is included in this orchestral version and not in the original version, is that the main instrument goes from that synth solo to a full orchestra. This kind of change in leading instrument in the orchestra is what makes orchestration sound freaking amazing. That's the reason why Time by Hans Zimmer is such a banger, because the main instrument changes every, I don't know how many seconds. The second thing I love that makes me understand this was written for the orchestra is how many articulations the strings are playing now. So check this out. This again is marcato, longer notes like this. This that's called tremolo. In Italian, tremolo means like to vibrate very fast, or to like, to get trembles. So you have marcato, tremolo, and then those are very strong staccatos. And they just, this melody changes from marcato to tremolo to staccatos. That is very masterful. Like, you're gonna hear that in classical music anytime. So when I say masterful, I'm not saying that Toby Fox invented this, but this is very well researched melody writing. This guy freaking knows. And again, syncopation everywhere. Everywhere. Love it. Also, did you notice the next melody is being hinted at right now? Ba, 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 ba. I want you to notice here. Listen to the lower registers of the orchestra, like cellos are doing that already. Like the bass trombones and cellos were already playing that melody. So this orchestral version is guiding you even more by hinting at stuff that comes after. And now this. This works very well in the game, works very well here as well. I'm hearing like a guitar or something in the background. That's amazing. Like this orchestra has, the main symphonic elements, but it also has this drum kit and bass and guitar, which is fucking great. What I love about this da ba da ba ba melody is that it creates a sense of dread, like what you're facing. As in, I'm not gonna spoil the boss for those who didn't play Undertale, but what you're facing is very freaking dangerous. That's what it feels, and it's also a break from the main melody in a way, because now this changes completely. What I would have done to make this even better is add maybe a bass. All in all, I have to say I always love this part because of how dark it sounds compared to the rest of the song. All in all, I have to say this is one of my favorite parts in Megalovania because it sounds so dark, but holy shit, this concert really brought forward how freaking good of a composer Toby Fox is. There's other songs that really had a big effect on me. This one is another. I mean, that is just straight fire when you listen to it with an orchestra. The full range of the full orchestral instruments and stuff like that. Also sounds kind of like Zelda. Holy shit. This guy is the real deal. Honestly, I always loved Undertale music, but especially because of guys like Rishad, AB, and Family Jules, I still cannot stop listening to Family Jules' medley of Undertale, which I recommend everyone to listen to. But when you turn Undertale into metal, it sounds amazing. When you turn it orchestral, you realize how good of a composer Toby Fox is. I'm not only talking, like, the thing that he does very well, which I'm kind of envious, like, he's able to write music that sounds simple and understandable, but also has a lot of complexity in it, right to the right amount. It's like the perfect balance between something that only musicians would enjoy and something that only listeners would enjoy. It's like in the middle ground, because then usually musicians tend to only enjoy the more complex music and cannot disregard the simple ones, and casual listeners do not enjoy like complex music and only enjoy the simple one. So Toby Fox was able to merge the two worlds and do the best of both worlds somehow. I don't know how he managed that. Maybe it's just intuition. It's not easy at all to write music like this, so props to him. There is another part of this concert where I went, holy shit, Toby Fox is a freaking genius. It's here. Like, holy shit. That passage right there, that gave me goosebumps right now. Like this right here. Like that is called, I think, portamento is when you alternate between two notes. Da da. It could have done da da da, but it's like da. The violins are going very slowly from one note to another and creates a sort of like swelling motion that is freaking emotional. When you hear Undertale music on orchestra, it really hits different and you realize the genius of Toby Fox. So to reply to the question, is Undertale music overrated? No, it's not. Maybe if you think it's overrated, you have been illusioned by the chiptune sound fonts that Toby Fox used in the original compositions. But if you break those down and really understand what's going on and you arrange it to another type of instrumentation like full orchestra, you're going to realize this soundtrack is actually a freaking masterwork. Also, this is surely also the work of whoever helped into orchestrating this, because to translate from something that is not orchestral to orchestral is not easy. It's not like copy-paste the notes and it works. You have to like readapt them to every single instrument in the orchestra, find the perfect balance. But the sauce is Toby Fox. But yeah, that is all. I hope this video made you understand something new about music. I'm still working on a big Persona 5 Royale video, which is gonna come soon. And I'll see you with that one. Or on Twitch, maybe tonight, because I might be streaming for the PS5 event. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.